Welcome to Worldwide Technologies Hands-On Live Lab. I'm Kristen Schneider, Product Manager for Labs and Learning Paths. And today we're going to be discussing Red Team tools with Bloodhound with lab creator Justin Barnes. Before we get started, we just want to mention that this is an interactive session. So any questions that you have throughout the event, please drop them in the chat and we're going to get those answered live here with our expert, Justin. So also, try to launch the lab live. We want to have you do this alongside Justin so that you get the full experience and able to ask any questions that you have throughout. With that, I'm going to drop it over to Justin, and he's going to introduce himself and get us started on the lab.
My name is Justin Barnes. I'm a technical solutions engineer here at WWT. I've been here since January of 2024, and in those 17 to 18 months, what I've been tasked with is creating labs and learning paths on open source tools that are used in our CTF games. So first, if you're on the WWT website, here on our homepage, to get to the event and the labs, we'll come up to this Learn From Us tab. Click on that, and then down here at Labs and Learning, come down there, and you'll get this page. Now, you can access the event and the labs here with its Register Now link, but what we like you to do is come up to My Labs and Learning, this library. And here in our library, we have tons of labs and learning paths. And so if you'd like to section out where you want to go, so security, for example, if you're interested in security, there's a different number of ways that you can search and get to wherever you need to. But for today's purposes, we're just going to come up and search security testing suite. And I'm just going to search security testing, and we're going to come here. So just to begin, the security testing suite is comprised of multiple tools, web application tools in there, and also post-exploitation tools. And it's designed to enhance your skills on these tools so you're confident in going into a CTF game to use them, or use them in a real world scenario, whether you're using them at home in an at-home lab to enhance your skills, or in your actual workplace and in your career. So just to start off, BurpSuite is a multi-purpose web application security tool for inspecting and modifying web requests. I wish I could say that I'm a one-man band and I created this, but my partner in crime, Ismael Valenzuela, he did a really good job of developing not only this video, but this lab as well to get you hands-on. And his words and my words specifically, BurpSuite is kind of the Swiss Army knife for web application penetration testing. So if you'd like to dive into that, if you're interested in that, I say go through this lab and get some experience there. The next tool that I like to highlight is MFS Console, or also known as Metasploit. I think everyone has kind of heard of Metasploit, but if you haven't, it's a very big, powerful framework. And I like to give a shout out to the CyberRange guys, because when first developing this lab, they threw at me, hey, this is a really big framework. You sure you can handle it? So they walked me through a couple of different modules that I can use to develop this. And so a huge shout out to those gentlemen. If you go into this lab, what you'll see is I call it and it is an intentionally vulnerable environment. And in that environment, you can test multiple modules in Metasploit. So I encourage you to go in, get hands-on in that lab, and also watch the video as well to give you kind of an overview of the tool before you go in. And if you're going into a CTF game, you can get that lab in there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through we're also going to touch on Bloodhound, but what I'd like to go through and do first is touch on Impacket. So just going to read here. Impacket is a powerful library and a toolkit using penetration testing and red teaming exercises, and it enables users to interact with network protocols commonly found in Windows environments, LDAP, SMB, RDP, and etc. So let's go ahead and hop in this lab here by hitting Open Lab.
While you're launching that, I just want to give a really quick reminder that in order to launch the lab, you will need to log in with your customer email. So if you are having any trouble accessing that, please go back and log in with your customer email.
Absolutely. So here, let's jump to the About section. And what we're going to accomplish in the Impacket lab is get you hands-on with Bloodhound and SharpHound. SharpHound is the data collector for Bloodhound, and it does kind of the back end, kind of the hard work. I kind of related to the football. The Sharphound acts as the coaches, and the players, they go out and execute what Sharphound has put together. So just diving in here, let's go ahead and get started. So first, to log into Kali, you're already logged into Kali, so let's just go ahead and open up a fresh terminal. And let's go ahead and navigate to the different tools that Impacket has. So excuse me here if I type a little bad, fingers just not right sometimes. But here, what we have is the full list of Impacket tools that you can use. So in this lab, what I'm gonna do is highlight secrets dump, and I'm gonna highlight WMI exec. But I've also, during the creation of this lab, I got hands-on with a tool like PS exec and other tools like get AD users, get GPP password, which is also used in Mimikatz as well, which is another tool that we have highlighted in our Red Team learning series. But just to get started, I just wanted to highlight those Impacket scripts that you all can have at your disposal. But first, what we're going to do is just open up, we got a terminal open, so we're going to run an Nmap scan just to see what hosts are on our network right now. Let me just move that out of the way. Not 1+2, excuse me. All right. So we've got our list of tools. Excuse me. All right. And I actually ran the wrong Nmap scan. I forgot a letter there. So let's go back. Let's throw an S in there. And what you'll see when you run this command is a list of systems that are open and active in the environment. So we see that 2 of them are Windows systems, this 10.10 and also 10.01. And so up next, I'll tell you this: when developing this lab and tying them to CTF games, in our CTF games, we use multiple tools to get to the end goal. And so when developing these labs, I think of trying to create them as similar to that as possible. So we just use Nmap. What we're going to do next is jump into a tool named Hydra. Hydra is used to crack passwords. And what Hydra does is runs a password list against a system that you're trying to attack. So in this case, this copy and paste, it's a little finicky sometimes, so just work with me here. But this tool is very handy. Excuse me. I see, so that copy and paste sometimes gets me. And it's deleting. Let's try it one more time, excuse me. There. So with this Hydra command, what we're doing is running this list of passwords that we have and this list of users that we have against this system through SSH. So if we hit that, we come up with 4 different successful passwords. So what we're going to do is use Robin and Sam as examples here, but we also had Anise and we also had Jose, whose passwords were successfully revealed to us. What I'm going to jump into next is it's a little bit different from Impacket. Crackmap exec, it's another post-exploitation framework that kind of simplifies and automates tasks related to AD environments. It kind of uses Impacket. It runs on top of Impacket and kind of is designed for automation and speed. So here in this example, we're just going to test it and use it to see what systems on this can be targeted using SMB. And again, that command got me there. So just going to copy and paste once more. And we got it there.
As that's pulling up, can you give a quick reminder on how to access the lab manual?
Absolutely. And I'll say this too on that. If these screenshots are too small and they sometimes make your eyes squint like I do, what you can do is come down here to this bottom left. There's a little button here. And if you click that, it actually opens up the lab manual. And it presents these screenshots a little bit clearer for you. So you can, if you have double screens, you can run this side by side and kind of make it a little bit easier on your eyes.
That's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. And so here, what we just ran with the command crack map PZEP, and we use SMB, these systems here are able to be targeted using SMB. And we're going to run the same command using SSH. And let's see if it gives me this time. Well, we can just jump in and change this to SSH. And so, like I said, just taking it a step further, we can see that these systems here, 10.2, 10.1.101, 43, 254, these machines all have SSH open, and we can target these machines. And so let's run this command once more. And what we're going to do with this command is use those password, that login and password that we got from Hydra, and we're going to put that on the back end of the command and see if these credentials can be used on any of these systems. It's what we call credential spraying, using different a set of credentials and testing them against multiple systems to see which one pops, which one cracks. And I think I copied that there. And I still didn't get it. I'm just going to manually throw that thing in there. Robin.
This is great to see you working through the different, issues that might arise, whether copy and paste isn't working or being able to enter it manually. So that's beneficial for all of us.
All right. And so what I actually just did is show something that I experienced during the lab is something that doesn't work. So the command I just ran, that password would not run on any of these systems. But if I use the correct one, you'll see now we'll get some greens here. All right, we got a green from 10.101.
We do have a question in the chat that they wanted to confirm Hydra checked the full password list for each user.
Yes, it did. So Hydra, and I'll come back up to the command here. These are user word lists that I have stored on the Kali machine. And what it does is check against all, I'm going to come back up to that command. It checked against one machine. So we just ran it against 101. All right, because 101 was one of the jump boxes, one of the Windows 10 machines that we saw up and live in our nmap command. All right, and so like I said, we would get some green. So 101, we got green on Robin using her password, summer 2024 with an exclamation mark. So let's go a little bit deeper with Robin's credentials. So Seeker's Dump is one of Impacket's most commonly used tools. It's used to dump credentials. And here you'll get NTLM hashes. You'll get advanced encryption standard hashes, the 128-bit version, and also the 256-bit version as well. And you can see that here when we run this command. There we go. So just to walk through this command with you all. So we're going to call the Impacket Seekers Dump command that we saw earlier in that list. Defense.local is the domain that we're targeting, along with the credentials that we use with Robin. So Robin is the user. Her password has to be in quotations here. And then we're going to target this 10.10, the other system that we saw that was open and live during our nmap command. So if we run that, we get a ton of information here. So let's just scroll up and check. As I said before, you'll see multiple hashes here. And all of these users are users on the domain. So again, Anise, like we saw earlier, whose password we cracked, we now have her advanced encryption standard 256-bit hash right here. And all of this information can be used to just dive deeper into an environment, deeper into a network, and eventually conquer that network, that domain. And here, these are the NTLM hashes as well, along with the Kerberos ticket granting ticket. You can use that to do a lot of damage in an environment. So that's just a little bit of what Seekers Dump does. It just provides valuable information, usernames and their associated hashes. Like I said, it can be used for lateral movement and to escalate privileges as well. And with that being said, if you want to use a tool like Hashcat or a tool like John the Ripper, you can use these tools to crack these hashes right here and display them as plain passwords. So walk with me here through this next section. It's a read-only section, but I'm going to describe what we did and how we got this done. So WMI exec is another Impacket tool that's easy to use, and I'm actually going to show this live here in just a second. But in this process, what we did is we attacked a Windows machine, and we wanted to see if we could stop any services, whether that was a Chrome running or a calculator. The calculator is what we use in this example. And so what we did, this is on the target machine after we've gotten access to it. We would come down to Task Manager and just open up the background processes. Before that, we'd start the calculator and then come down and scroll to background processes. And what we do is use this Impacket WMI exec command here, again, highlighting the domain, the user that Robin, we're sticking with Robin, that 10.10. And then on the back end of that, we're going to specify which service that we are trying to stop. In that case, the Win32 calculator. And so this is a little bit harder to see, but if we come over to that other window that we opened up, you'll see before that the Windows calculator, it was running. But once we ran that command, that stopped the Windows calculator. And it was a great learning experience for me, just trying to stop different services, some worked, some didn't, but that's all a part of learning, which I really enjoy getting through that. But let's jump back in and get you back hands on. So we're going to clear this out. And we're going to use one of the other users that we got passwords from through Hydra, and we're going to use Sam. So Sam, we're going to run with Sam's credentials, and we're going to use his to see what other information we can gather here on the network. Again, this is giving me issues as far as copy and paste, but that's okay. So Sam, again, we're highlighting the domain. Sam is the user, and his password is LabPass02 with an exclamation mark, and we're targeting that 10.10 machine again. So if we run that, and let's just run this who am I command to see who we are. We're Sam, and that 10.10, we didn't open another tab, but that 10.10 was actually the domain controller. So if we run who I am, I'm Sam, and I'm now on the domain controller. And we can just run a number of commands to kind of get more information out of here. Who are the users on this domain and in this environment? What groups are here for us to kind of explore? And so I'll tell a story here while I'm going through this. And let's just run one more command to show you how you can target different people.
As you're running that command as well, we have a chat question. Are these tools standard on Kali, ISO, or install?
These tools are standard. Some of them you have to download to Kali, but they're easily downloaded to these platforms. Excuse me, this operating system Linux.
Thank you.
Of course. And so to highlight, I'm just going to tell a story here. So interestingly enough, I developed this lab around Valentine's Day. I had no idea this was going to happen, but as you can see, I kind of made this domain as if it were a restaurant. So we've got cashiers and waiters, we got chefs, and we have kitchen managers. So interestingly enough, Valentine's night, I went to a restaurant, really nice restaurant, and they overcooked my steak. I think we've all had an overcooked steak before, if you've done it before yourself or if you went to a restaurant. I was a little upset about that for Valentine's Day. It makes us stay in the restaurant a little longer. So, the chef sends his, apologies, and eventually we get the great steak. But I'm like, oh, let's tie this into the lab. So I'm like, let me go find that chef. And I remember the waiter saying he sends his apologies and whatnot. So I'm like, well, let's tie this. So let's go and find that chef. So let's use this net group command and let's go find him. So I remember that so it has to be one of these gentlemen, Craig, Greg, Lawrence, Norman, or Victor. It has to be one of those. So I might write a letter to each one of those guys and just tell them next time, let's get the steak right. So those are really good.
Are these the real names? Are we calling the real chef out at this point?
Not the real names. Those are just names that I came up with. But hey, it just worked out that way. So I thought it was a really, really cool story and just something fun to tie into the lab for everyone. We've all had an overcooked steak before.
I love it. Great story.
Absolutely. And so now what I'm going to do is this is the end of the Impacket lab. It's a very quick fundamental lab to kind of get you hands-on to go into a a CTF game. So Impacket is used in our Welcome to the League CTF game. And so is Bloodhound as well, which we're going to jump in next. And so just for you all in the audience, Bloodhound essentials, I would encourage you all to watch this video before, just to get a little overview of the product, see how it could benefit you just before you jump into the lab.
Real quick, before we do jump in the Bloodhound lab, we have a question here from in the chat. So can you clarify how Impact Secrets Dump was able to dump other account hashes off of, and then the number 192.168.10.10 host using just Robin's credentials? Is it because Robin had a higher level of privileges on that host?
Absolutely. Robin is in this environment. Robin is a domain admin, and you need those rights. So when targeting, we want to target someone that's a domain admin. So an administrator account, Robin in that case, Sam in that case as well. They all were set up to have administrative access, and that's who we targeted. And so just to give you an overview of, Bloodhound. Bloodhound is an open source tool. It's used by red teamers, attackers, penetration testers to map out and analyze AD environments and kind of help them identify and exploit security vulnerabilities. It's used to show graphical relationships. And we'll kind of see a little bit of that in here, and we'll kind of get you guys competing against each other today. And I believe we can offer up something, maybe if you're not a WWT employee. So let's go ahead and jump in. And I want to close that one there. And so in this Bloodhound lab, we're going to get hands-on with both Bloodhound and Sharphound. All right, so just to start off, you're already logged into the Kali machine. So let's open up a fresh terminal here. And the address of the target machine is 101. So let's ping it just to make sure that it's up. And again, when developing these labs, I'm a person that likes to, we're still going. Let's stop that. So if it's still going, hit Control-C to stop it so it doesn't go on for forever. But like I said, when developing these labs, one thing I think about is trying to make it as close to a CTF game as possible, using numerous tools to kind of get to our goal. So we're starting off with just the ping command, but then we're going to jump in and use nmap again. We can never get tired of nmap. So let's just run this command to see what services are up on this target machine. All right. Awesome. So on this machine that we're targeting, 101, we've got multiple ports that are open, 21 for FTP. We're going to use port 22 to target kind of SSH, but here also different ports that are open as well that you can use to use other tools. Again, in this lab, we use Hydra once more. And just if you don't have a really good understanding of Hydra, what I included in this lab is just the help command in Hydra. So this gives a awesome set of examples of the syntaxes to use when you're using Hydra. So if that last command that we use in Packet kind of confused you in any way, you can use that Hydra -H, and it gives you tons of information on really how to use the product. And then the different syntaxes here, which I think are very helpful to anyone that's new or anyone that is coming back and just to refresh themselves. But again, we built these user list and these user password lists to test against this target machine here, 10.101. And so let's see if this copy and command or this paste gets me this time. It did again. All right, so let's just come back. All right. All right. And so as again, like I highlighted earlier, we're going to target the SSH service and the target machine 101. And this this path here is where those password lists and that user list are located here on the attack system, so the Kali system. So if we run that, again, we get this list of users: Sam, Robin, the lab user account, Anise, and Jose. And again, we're going to use Robin as our example. And let's use SSH once more. So let's get some access to this machine. All right, let's use Robin's password here. Summer 2024 with an exclamation this time. And there I am. So to first start off, what I want to do is use this PowerShell EP bypass command. And what it does is launch PowerShell with its execution policy set to bypass. And that sets PowerShell to ignore any restrictions regarding script execution. Let's go ahead and throw that in there now. I'm going to do a lot more manual typing here because that copy and command paste keeps getting me. I'm going to get going though. So that command worked. We're good there. And so let's jump into SharpHound. SharpHound collects data about the AD environment, the user and group memberships, ACL, session information. It grabs just about anything that you can find within that AD environment. Bloodhound can't work without, well, it can work without SharpHound. There's a number of different data collectors that SharpHound uses. So we have SharpHound. SharpHound is actually available in a PowerShell script as well. But if you're looking to find graphical relationships about Azure AD environments, they have a data collector called Azure Hound, and that's used to find the graphical relationships for Azure AD environments. And if you're someone that is very manual, you can also customize scripts to be run here. Bloodhound accepts JSON and zip files that are properly formatted. So if you're one of those people that loves to get in and just modify code and do it your way, that would be something for you to kind of get done for yourself as well. But just to highlight those different data collectors that Bloodhound has to use against any environment that you may be attacking. All right, so we ran that PowerShell EP bypass command. So what we want to do here is just see what's in the downloads folder. All right, so, and again, we are Robin on our attack machine right now. All right, so what I have here is the SharpHound executable. And so let's run that SharpHound executable and see what we get after that. Did I type anything wrong here? I think I may have typed something wrong. Awesome. And so SharpHound does its thing in the background. What it's doing now is just collecting all of the information from this environment. And this is SharpHound is to be used for on-prem AD. Just wanted to make that clear. So if you're using Azure Hound, if you want to use, if you're targeting on-prem AD, use SharpHound. And this just takes a little second here. Waiting. Awesome. So you'll get this notification that SharpHound enumeration completed, happy graphing, which is awesome. We love to see happy graphing. So let's go back and see what's in that downloads folder again. And you'll now see these Bloodhound zip files that contain the environment about the the information about the environment we just attacked. So what we're going to do is copy this. All right. And what we use is PSCP, so PuTTY Secure Copy Protocol. It's a command line tool that comes with PuTTY. It's a popular SSH client for Windows to securely transfer files between a local machine and then a remote server using Secure Copy Protocol. So let's use it to copy and transfer that zip file over to our Kali machine. So open up a different tab here in Kali, and let's run this PSCP command here. Let's see if we can copy and paste it. And excuse me, you're gonna have to copy and paste this. You're gonna have to jump back over and copy and paste this again. It's a lot of copy and pasting here. Excuse me, I'm hitting copy as I say copy, excuse me. But that's okay. So this command here, we're targeting, we're getting the file from the target machine, so 101. And this is where the file is located. So let's jump back over to this tab, copy and paste, copy this. And let's see if it lets us paste here. Awesome. And so from there, once you have that, this is the name of the folder that we want to put it in. So let's go ahead and run that command. Give you Robin's password once more if you didn't remember it. It's summer 2024 with an exclamation mark. And from there, we've successfully transferred that zip file back over to our attack machine. So let's get into getting into Bloodhound here. So let's start the Neo4j database. So, and earlier in our lab, we gave you the password for lab user, but if you didn't get it, it's labpass01 with an exclamation mark. And from there, this Neo4j database is going to start. And what I will say is you cannot start up Bloodhound without starting this Neo4j database first. What this Neo4j database is, Bloodhound uses this database to kind of show the graphical relationships in Bloodhound. So let's open up one more tab and just type the command Bloodhound. All right. And what it's going to do is open up a window in your internet browser, and you're going to be successfully logged in. All right. So no data came from the query. This thing is empty right now because we haven't loaded anything into it. But how you load these JSON files, this zip file into Bloodhound is you come over here to upload data. We're going to find that bhzip folder. And this here is the file, the zip file that we got from our target machine. All right, and so we're going to get successful upload complete through all of these. All right, and let's go ahead and close that box. And now you'll see we have a little bit of information filled in here. Relationships, we have 90 relationships, 80 ACLs, 8 groups, 9 computers, and all right. So this is the part of the lab where I kind of let you guys go at it, get a little bit of competitiveness between you. So I'd like you all to kind of find this information. So if you can tell me, like the first, what is the name of the domain? If you can tell me, if we've already gone through it in the lab, it's defense.local, but you guys have it. I kind of gave you the answer. But all right, so let's jump in here. All right, let's start by navigating to that analysis tab. All right, and so we're gonna come and find all of the domain admins here. So let's close this right here. And let's click on this administrator account. All right, let's jump over to the node info tab. Scroll down to group. And let's reduce some of these and get it out of our way. And first degree memberships. And so this will show you 6 groups that the administrator account is a member of. And from here, we'll click on this domain users. And there we go. Under groups members, click on direct group members. And from here, all of those employees that you have in the environment, and on the network, they're here. So question 3 is kind of where we start asking you all questions. I'm going to ask you all to find this information. So the first question is, can you tell me how many groups Alan Jensen is in and what groups he is in? So I'll give you all 30 seconds to a minute to try to find that. And then I'll actually walk through and show you how to find the answer to it.
Yeah, real quick, drop it in the chat when you have the answer. Be the first to drop it in there.
Absolutely. If you're the first to answer it, you're first to get it, just got it.
Yeah.
Know? Just put it in the chat, got it. I'm a very competitive.
Do you want us to put the answer in the chat? Because then we can say, we can verify.
Yeah, we can, but I'll tell you this, and don't skip, do not skip. The answers, we give you the answers in this after this next button here in the conclusion, but we can definitely put the answers in the chat if you all like to.
It's a nice little challenge.
I'm a very
competitive spirit.
I'm a very competitive person. If you all are basketball fans, the NBA playoffs are going on right now. That was a very amazing shot by Tyrese Halliburton last night in that Pacers-Knicks game. And we're all rooting for the Wolves tonight, right? Yes, we're all rooting for the Wolves tonight. But that was an awesome game last night. I'm very competitive, so I just love that competitive nature. Did we get anybody with got it yet?
We haven't gotten an answer yet, so it's still open.
Oh.
And I know we have people launching the lab live here, so let's see it. Anyone can get the answer for the challenge we have set.
Absolutely. I can probably I'll give it 10 more seconds for somebody to get it. What we're going to do is this last question. I'm actually going to leave it to you all. I'm not going to give you the answer for number 6. I'm going to let you all try to figure that one out. And then, Kristen, I believe we can, if someone, not a WWT member, correct? But we can probably get you a pin or a T-shirt, or we could get you something, or a high five maybe one day.
We'll find a great piece of swag to send out to you.
Awesome.
Oh, we have an answer. Domain users.
Oh, so actually we're finding, can you tell me how?
I'm sorry, 3. 3 was the first answer.
All right, so let's go and check it out. If you scroll through here, you can find Alan. Boom. There he is. So how many groups is he in? Well, if we reduce these tabs and come down, he is in 3 first-degree group memberships. And what are those groups? Did the person in the chat say what groups they're in?
So the first answer that gave 3, he did not, or he did. He said domain users, cashiers, waiters, and users.
Boom.
Oh, we have a winner.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. And so let's jump into this next one. Now, it's critical that you know how to get to and from different relationships here in Bloodhound. So the next question, when was the last time Julia Lee changed their password? All right. And so I'll give you about 10 or 15 seconds, but then I'll give you a hint as well to try to find that. All right. Did we get a got it yet?
Preston Sand is sending 9/23/2024.
All right. Let's go look.
Let's check it. Let's verify.
Why I say it's important to get to and from here in this graphical database is because all you have to do is go back to domain users. All right. It's group membership, and you're right back to all of those people you just were at. So let's find Julia. Where is she hiding? Julia. All right. And these different tabs here, overview, node properties, extra properties, they all contain great information, but you'll find that answer here in node properties. And Preston, I believe it was?
Preston.
He was correct. She last changed her password on Monday, September 23rd, 2024. This is military time, so 1:50. On September 23rd of 2024. So awesome job, Preston. That is awesome, man. And
Preston's our big winner today.
Yeah,
I love it.
Did he double up on us?
He did.
He doubled up on us, Preston. I got you, man. Hey, go ahead and take the trifecta here, Preston. Question number 5. How many direct members are in the cashiers waiters group? Let's see if we can, and I tied this in that Impacket story, but let's see if we can find that waiter that served me at that Valentine's Day event that I went to.
Let's see if Preston can bring home the trifecta, hat trick.
We can see.
What kind of sport we going for here?
That's hockey. Hat trick is hockey, huh?
Mark says 12.
All right. let's see.
Let's verify.
Let's just find one of these people here. So let's go back to this domain users group. I'm just gonna go into a random person. Let's go Anise. All right. And this Anise is actually one of the people in the cashier's wager group. So if we, and I just clicked on a random person. I don't have the people memorized, I swear. So if you just click on this cashier here, waiters group, and you come down to group membership, I believe it was Mark, you are correct, man. You took the chat trick from Preston. That's awesome. So there are 12 direct members. But here also, if you want to see any of the group, any of these groups that are here, what you can do is, can I zoom out here a little bit? All right. Actually, users. All right. Come back here, and then you can just click on any of these members and see what groups they're in. So let's just dive into another person. Let's say someone that we haven't heard of before, Greg. Well, we heard of Greg earlier. He's one of the chefs. Let's go Angela. Let's see what group Angela's in. This is not one of the questions, but I just want to highlight how you can jump from user to user to see what groups they're in. This is very important when trying to see how can we elevate privileges, who has these privileges in what group. If you find someone that's in a domain admins group, like we saw Robin or Sam and Impacket earlier, they're very important, and you can use those accounts to escalate your privileges and for lateral movement to move from machine to machine. And so here you'll see that she's in the cashier waiters group as well. Everyone wants to be a cashier and waiter. No one wants to be a kitchen manager. But again, so you can go through those different users and just see what groups they're in, and that can better help you both move laterally and escalate privileges. Now, this last one I'm not going to show you how to get to. I'm going to let you guys answer this one. Can you find a list of computers that are joined to the domain? And when you do, can you tell me what operating system Jumpbox Win 10 is running? So I'll give you guys a little bit of time to jump in there and find that.
Justin has all the challenges today. I love this. This is great.
This is very interactive. Like I said, I'm a very competitive person. And I'm going to scroll down to the answer here once we have someone that has it.
Okay, we have it. We have an answer that's been submitted.
Uh-oh.
Windows 10 Enterprise.
Let's scroll and see.
Let's see.
Boom. Who's that?
Preston
for
You're
the hat trick.
killing it today.
I hope you didn't jump to the conclusion and look at that, Preston. But man, I believe you. I believe you're an amazing person, and we're gonna go with the hat trick for you, man. So congratulations, Preston. You're an awesome job, man.
He said, no, sir. He did it legit.
Hey, I know it, man. I know you're a legit guy. So just to highlight Bloodhound a little bit more, we didn't really jump into these pre-built analytic queries, but some of this information here, we jumped into find all domain admins, and it shows you this information, and some of this isn't applicable to this environment that I built out. But if you're working with a at-home environment or even an environment that is in production at your different company, you can use these pre-built analytic queries to find different information about Kerberos interaction, the shortest path to the main user version. I'm going to click on this here. And it's going to show no data returned from query. But that is one of the most commonly used pre-built analytic queries because the shortest path from domain users to high-value targets. High-value targets might be someone that's your CTO, your CFO, and they may be in very important groups. So it's important to have a great security posture in your organization. Let's just show this one. And so the shorter path to domain admins. We've got domain admins. And you can see just how graphical it can get here. So these DACLs, it can show that the kitchen managers. Let's see who's a kitchen manager today. And so we've got 4. And so Woody, Katie, Sam, and Harriet. They're all members of the kitchen manager. So we got the kitchen managers figured out. But again, Bloodhound is an awesome tool if you're trying to map out graphical relationships. And just a lesson learned that I learned from here. Getting SharpHound on that target computer it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. Windows systems do not like SharpHound. And sometimes if you get Windows Defender and that, it may remove the file from your target system. So you got to do your work a little bit to get that thing to stick on there. But once you do and run those commands, you'll be able to map out any on-prem AD environment that you're targeting, and you'll be good to go and get these graphical relationships going. So again, I want to give a shout out to Preston, also Mark as well. Great job on answering the cashier and waiters question. You two guys are awesome, and I think we can get them something.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Just sent you a private message, and reach out to me. I want to get you something out, maybe a cool Labs and Learning t-shirt. And we just are so grateful for your participation today. This has been a great session.
Absolutely.
Before we do wrap anything up, I want to ask you, Justin, what's some lessons learned that you've had?
Like I said, with Bloodhound, Windows has done a great job. If you notice in that Impacket lab, we targeted a Windows 10 machine. A Windows 10 is going end of life here soon. But if you're running this against Windows 11, Windows 11 has a feature, Credential Guard. And Credential Guard makes anything for an attacker very difficult to kind of get through. So just plugging away at that thing, it really forced me to become creative and finding out how to get it on the target machine. And I failed to grab this earlier, but during that Impacket lab, I failed to jump over to another lab that we have on our platform, Mimikatz. And I'm going to just reconnect here and show our audience just how useful Impacket is. So in this Mimikatz lab, just walk with me here. You all don't have to jump over, but just walk with me. So Mimikatz is a tool that is used to extract credentials. And so what we did is we extract credentials with Mimikatz. We targeted the administrator account. But here, once we got that hash from Mimikatz, we jumped over into our Kali machine. I'm going to see if it sticks. Yay, we got the copy and paste going for the first time today. That's awesome. So we use
little wins. It's the little wins,
the small things. So again, we highlighted WMI exec in the Impacket lab, but we used a password last time. This time we used a hash with this hash syntax here. So we used the administrator. We're targeting the administrator account with this 10.10. And again, lateral movement. So we say, who am I? I am the administrator now on the DC. And if you can take over the administrator account on the DC, the world is yours. I mean, absolutely, the world is yours. So again, you can just run a couple of commands. Or I'm just going to run a couple of commands. I know you all aren't following along, but here we can just run a couple of commands to find more information about the DC. Who's in here? What's the IP address? Again, all of these users. These are different users from the Bloodhound lab. But just more and more information. I set this one up. I'm a very competitive person, so I set this one up to be kind of related to sports. So we got coaches, we have the front office, players, trainers. So just to make it more personable or to you all, if you follow sports, if you follow anything at all. And so it's just an awesome little lab. And this is actually a part of our password cracking lab, which is again, it's another Red Team tool, Mimikatz, which leads into our Red Team Learning series. So again, I encourage you all to go out, go back onto the platform. If you come back here to learn from us, Labs and Learning, and run to this library again, you can search that password cracking. Excuse me, I'm gonna jump.
And Eric Jackson is in the chat, and he dropped that link as well for password cracking.
Absolutely.
And also the Cyber Range Red Team tool. So for your convenience today. And
this is that learning series. Eric, thank you for dropping those links. But this is that learning series that I spoke of. So we have a couple of different learning paths comprised in that learning series. So password cracking, the security testing suite we just went over, and then the network reconnaissance as well, which includes tools that we use like Nmap in those labs as well. So I encourage everyone to go out and just jump into these labs and these learning paths and really just enhance your skills.
Yeah, that's great. Just as a reminder, as customers, you do have access to all of our labs and learning paths and resources within there. We have over 400 labs and learning paths in there in a variety of solution areas, even outside of cyber and security. So I highly encourage you to go and check those out, and also check out our events. We have more events like this. We hold these right now twice a month, where our lab and learning path creators come in, host, talk through the technical, launch the lab, and answer questions directly for you. So we have more events out there. We add them on the regular throughout the year. So please go check those out as well. Well, one thing I have a question for you, Justin, is what's next for you? What are you looking to educate yourself on, and then in turn educate our audience?
Yeah, so we're going to be adding to the security testing suite coming up right now. We actually just added this to the platform, a video on PowerSploit. PowerSploit is another tool that you can find in Cali just by searching PowerSploit. And it's used to, it runs scripts against Windows machines. And also, so we're going to be developing a lab over that. That's going to be coming really soon here before the end of the quarter. And just jumping into other tools, SQL Map, FF is another tool that we have. And we're going to be using these tools to enhance our user skills before they jump into our CTF game. So like I mentioned earlier, Impacket and Bloodhound, they're used in our Welcome to the League game. I believe the Mimikatz lab that I spoke on briefly is used in a game we call Mic Drop. So that's what's coming next for us, just enhancing our skills, our users' skills, and touching on more tools.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for your time today. We want to thank everyone for their participation. It really makes these sessions more lively, and the engagement is wonderful. We love hearing from you. Please feel free to reach out and contact myself, Justin, any of our labs and learning creators, and let us know what you're looking forward to. What's a technology solution area, things that you want to learn about. And we take all of that feedback, and then we can pass it on to our content creators to start creating more of those labs and learning paths.
Absolutely.
So before we jump, any parting words, any last minute wise details you want to give anyone?
Not anything. I don't have any words of wisdom. I just like to say, go Wolves tonight. If you're watching NBA, go Wolves. And like I said, I just encourage everyone to enhance their skills, not only in red team, but we have a ton of labs here on the platform. We also have a blue team learning series as well. So if you're jumping on the blue team as well, or if you have anyone that in your company that needs enhancing on blue team skills or just wanted to know about more tools, jump over to there as well, because we use those blue team tools in our CTF games as well.
Yeah, that's great. And feel free, go on there and check out all of our upcoming CTF events as well, and let people at your organization know, sign up for them. We look forward to seeing you in those, and we look forward to seeing you back at more hands-on live labs. So get in there, register, and we will see you next time.